Good evening or good morning. Welcome from downtown Salem, Massachusetts, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. Whew, my goodness. So, to the next question. My current take on music, my relationship with independent music, the punk scene, how it's changed over the years. Am I active in the field now, and how have all the years of stagnation affected my relationship with punk rock? Pretty seriously, and with great impact. Coming from the punk scene, you go through a lot of wild stuff. I'm grateful to be a long-term punk rocker. Punk rock, it's a cliche, they say, but it did save my life. It saved my life one more time that it almost killed me. I can't really stand the scene, but I love punk rock, and I love my community, our community. I love international DIY punk rock. I love the passion. I love the music. I love the bands. I'm not really too in touch. I live in Salem, Massachusetts, which is about 40 minutes by train into Boston. We have our own little punk scene here. It's cool. I like it. I don't really go out very much, even though I live right downtown. I'm really happy at home with my cat. Awesome, Mr. Max the cat. We listen to music here on the radio and on YouTube, and I got a whole nice collection of music as well. And I love my music, of course. I love it, and I always have, and I always will. It's just not that important to me, being part of something that doesn't always make me happy. And that is often what the punk scene's been like for me. At the same time, there are just some of the most amazing people on earth that you'll ever meet. Coming out of the punk scene and bands and traveling, and there ain't nothing like the people in our community. That's amazing. I'm not particularly active. I'm 43. I'm punk as fuck, no doubt. But I have a life, I guess I'm kind of like an adult. The Boston area is kind of a funny place to grow old, or get older in punk rock. It's a college town, and it's not the same as New York City or Philly or Chicago or San Francisco, for example, Minneapolis, Montreal, and Toronto, most places in Europe, I'm sure. A lot of people just get edged out, and that's what happens when you live in a college town. Kids just come in and revolve in and out every year, and good for them if that's what their lives are like, and they like punk rock and they do their thing. Good for them. You can't help when you were born, right? I was born in 1973. Some kid born in 1993 who was discovering punk rock, for the first time in 2008. Well, you know what? Good for them. Most of those kids are as passionate about whatever it is they're into, however they get into it, as I was when I was a kid. So I don't really get a lot of people. I mean, these days it's just a lot of fashion and a lot of internet, I guess, obsession with punk rock and obscure punk rock and all this crap. But good for those kids. I don't need to be understood. It's really hard to understand someone like me, but there are people out there, thankfully. Excuse me. But I can tell you this much. Poland has some of my favorite bands. Post Regiment, classic. My pen pals back in the early 90s sent me some mixtapes with some amazing bands. Toxic Bonkers. I was able to have the honor and privilege of interviewing Homo Militia in issue 1 of Upheaval Fanzine. It's a fanzine I did for 20 years or 15 years. We're putting out an anthology book, which is going to be great. Yeah, Deserter, classic. And there's this couple bands, I can't even say their name. One's this like punk rock reggae band. I know if I speak to somebody, they'll know who it is, but I can't say the name for the life of me. I had a buddy come back who was traveling in your part of the world about 15 years ago. I got a whole bunch of tapes from him. And and I got this cassette tape by some like ska punk band. Not even ska punk, just like this wild punk rock music. Recorded in the city of I'm gonna say it most likely incorrectly about Bialystok. And I couldn't tell you how to say the name for the life of me because looks like it's in Cyrillic. I think the band is based out of Belarus, but they're awesome. And I am just ecstatic about the fact that I can come to your country and meet you guys. And it doesn't matter how I feel about punk rock, really, when it comes down to it, or the scene or my involvement, because at the end of the day, we get to hang out with you guys in Warsaw. And that's freaking awesome. It's a dream come true. And we'll talk more about that when you see each other. But heck yeah, man. Up the punks. Here we come. See you soon. Oi, oi. All right. Later.